Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade are not having a good time on the internet. Ever since their separation rumors started going around, everyone is convinced that their marriage was always doomed from the start because they were both big red flags. Now, we have all heard about the DL rumors against Dwayne and how he treated his first wife. And now people are talking about how Gabrielle also played a big role in that and how she allegedly supported Zaya's decision to transition into a girl as a teenager a bit too much. And child, the internet is dragging her big time. There is a whole lot to unpack here, so let's break this crazy story down. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade's divorce and relationship drama have been a major topic in the media in the past couple of weeks, and every time we thought that things couldn't possibly get better, they do. But it looks like things just got insanely out of hand because new evidence suggests that Gabrielle might have had a big role to play in Dwayne's daughter, Zaya, being trans. Like that's not bad enough. Insiders have also claimed that Gabrielle made strong moves to isolate Zaya from her birth mom, Siobhan Funches. What this means is that while Zaya was deciding to transition, Zaya's biological mother had no chance to speak to Zaya about it one-on-one. And so she had no say in what was going on with her own daughter. Girl, what in the world? But y'all want to know what the real tea is? According to an insider, Gabrielle has been a thorn in Siobhan's side way before the issue of Zaya's gender identity came up. You see, there were rumors that Dwayne cheated on Siobhan with Gabrielle, and that's the reason the marriage ended in the first place. The timing actually kinda adds up. When they first met in 2007, Gabrielle was in a relationship, and Dwayne was married to Siobhan, who was his high school sweetheart. Well, a couple of months after they met, Gabrielle suddenly ended her relationship. And the next thing you know, things had gone left for Dwayne and Siobhan, and he filed for divorce. And no sooner was his divorce finalized that he and Gabrielle went public with their romance. Yeah, this is probably not a coincidence. They both denied cheating, insisting that things only turned romantic between them after they were both single. But no one really buys it, including Siobhan. And it explains why she is still so bitter toward Gabrielle and Dwayne. And honestly, who could blame her? They've both done her dirty, and as if breaking up her marriage wasn't enough, Gabrielle has also allegedly isolated Zaya from her birth mother. Okay, so here's how it played out. According to Dwayne, Zaya has always known that she's a girl, and she felt trapped in the wrong body. So when she was finally ready to live her truth, she came out to him and Gabrielle.
Zaya, early on, she was the one who sat down with us as a family and said, hey, I don't think I'm gay, right? I identify myself as a young lady, but she's known that for 9 years.
She's known since she was 3.
She's known since she was 3 years old.
But Siobhan says Zaya never expressed any desire to be a girl when she was living with her. And then there are those stories about Dwayne living through Zaya because he is on the DL. There have been rumors about his alleged affairs with other men in the industry, like when Jaguar Wright came out to expose Dwayne for throwing gay parties in his house.
They ain't doing as much, I guess, now because they're getting older. I guess it just moved over to the Wade house.
Energy transfers.
And I'm not saying that because of their trans daughter. I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old and young boys back there, all naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking about Boosie.
There's this video of Dwayne saying when he was young, he loved to play dress up as a girl, which also doesn't help her case.
When it hit my doorstep at 3 years old, like I said, when me and my wife looked at each other, right? And the reason we looked at each other is because of this, you know, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I try to do those things.
Anyway, when Siobhan tried to speak up against Gabrielle's manipulation of Zaya and how Gabrielle and Dwayne were pressuring Zaya to change gender, Dwayne immediately spoke up and painted Siobhan as a transphobic and deadbeat mother who didn't know what was best for her child. He left a long statement where he said, since this must be the new way of parenting, I guess I have to address these allegations here, which is a shame. I've received a social media post about me forcing our 15-year-old child to be someone she's not and to do something against her will. These are serious and harmful allegations that have hurt our children. No one in our house would ever force Zaya or any of our children to do anything against their will, much less force an identity on them. This isn't a game for my family, and definitely not for Zaya. I will not sit on my hands this time and allow her to make a mockery of my dedication to my family. This was where Siobhan got really upset, and she decided to fire back at Dwayne. And she also exposed Gabrielle for trying to monetize Zaya's identity. Siobhan claimed that Dwayne and Gabrielle had forced Zaya to change her gender so that she could tap into the very rich mine of media money and attention that comes with a Hollywood power couple with a teenage trans daughter. Siobhan said they are positioned to profit from the minor child's name and gender change with various companies through contracts and marketing opportunities, including but not limited to deals with Disney. I have concerns that they may be pressuring our child to move forward with the name and gender change in order to capitalize on the financial opportunities that he has received from companies. She continued, "They told me that they intended to make our child very famous due to the name and gender issue, and also informed me that there would be endorsements and contracts associated therewith." Zion, who was present at the time, answered that various companies were interested and that Disney was a prospective company. And while all this has been going on, Siobhan's access to Zaya is completely blocked. And not only that, Gabrielle continues to insult Siobhan in public by painting herself to be a better mother to Zaya than Siobhan, like when she said, "I'm lucky to have Zaya as my bonus daughter. I did not birth her, but I've never felt more connected to anyone, and I've never felt more of a purpose as one of the adults in her village that is standing 10 toes down, sometimes behind her, sometimes beside her, and sometimes in front of her, leading." But now that Gabrielle and Dwayne have allegedly separated, Gabrielle seems to have stopped having any sort of relationship with Dwayne's kids. Before, she used to post a lot about Zaya, but now she only posts about her own daughter, which people also kind of find weird. This is just a lot to take in, and these revelations have had fans shooketh. And trust me, they have a lot to say about Gabrielle and her manipulation. They left comments saying, "I never liked how Gabrielle inserted herself into another woman and man's child, and what decisions they made in regards to that child. Gabrielle was so intent on having a trans stepchild and paraded that child all over TV so she could get brownie points by the disgusting Hollywood elites for being a forward-thinking, good stepmom and ally." Another person said, "I felt strongly that Gabrielle had a lot to do with his transition. At some times, the child looked so miserable while standing with him. Never looked happy. And at 3, no way. His mother should have been a part of that conversation. He's going to have a tough life, especially now that this dysfunctional marriage is falling apart. Praying for him." But what do you guys think? What do you think is going to happen to her now that Gabrielle and Dwayne's marriage is about to hit the rocks? Do you think that Gabrielle is going to abandon her? Drop your thoughts down below, and then check out this next video.